Can you talk about finding a good support group? I can. So if you go, it depends on what kind of support group you're looking for, Lollipop, but Psychology Today is actually a really good resource for that. But they can be really hard to find. Sometimes like you'd have to ask, like if you're seeing a therapist, or if you know anybody who is a therapist, you could ask them if they know anybody who's running a group that's related to a certain thing. Finding a support group can be really difficult. And it's often because therapists do a really bad job advertising them. So if you have a therapist, asking them if they can ping their network to ask if anybody knows of a support group is going to be a really good way to do it. Like, for example, I know of like 6 different groups in Chicago that are run for different reasons, but they're not advertised particularly well. So it would really require somebody to be like, hey, Dr. Mick, do you know somebody who does groups that's related to this? And I'd be like, yes, actually I do. And then I can send you the referral. But Psychology Today does allow you to search for groups. You might also look at like private practices that are in your area and see if they run groups inherently, or if they have a website that talks about groups. Because like the practice that I work for will have that on their actual website. Word of mouth. I know that this is not particularly helpful, but this is kind of the problem with groups. Is groups are great, they're just never advertised well, at least in my experience. And also, yeah, and local government behavioral health agencies will have support groups to be able to refer. That works too. Yep. How important is that to run by a pro, or can you avoid just commiserating? I think, depending on the topic, Lollipop, I think that it's important to have a professional run the group, because you're going to get group dynamics that, if you want it to be constructive in some way, having a professional can really work to actually look at some of the dynamics that are going on and talk through the support and bring in information and just kind of regulate the group and moderate it. And they're a person who can be a container for the anxiety of the group, as opposed to if you just kind of meet with a group of people and you just start chatting about it. That can be really helpful, but if shit hits the fan, then it's nice to have a professional who can move the group in a more useful way. So it depends, though, on the topic and what you're wanting support for.